Hey, you guys, I wanted to come in here today and talk a little bit about being an action taker versus being a bystander. All right, there's a big difference between them. And, this is something that was on my heart. It was not in the plan. And I always say, his plan's always bigger than mine. So I've had to learn how to be led. And sometimes I go off the plan just a little bit. Even just doing these videos, I had to understand that sometimes Fridays are not right there. They're not, concrete for me, but Tuesdays usually are. And so I've been able to be consistent with the Tuesdays. It's about learning. And at the end of the day, it's about continuing to show up. This is one of the big things that I always talk about. It's better to show up and do your best than to not show up at all. So we're going to talk a little bit about action takers versus bystanders, taking action over not taking action. This has been a real big thing with me because with all the coaching that I do in different areas, what I've noticed is the most successful people, the people who get the most out of whatever program it is, are those who actually do the things that they are asked to do, right? They don't make excuses, they don't let life take them off course. And I'm not saying this to judge, please believe, because I have done the same. But I had to make a decision, right? If I'm investing in something, which I just recently did this as well, I need to do the work. I need to show up. I have to meet my coaches halfway, just like I ask others to meet me halfway. I can't do the work for you, just like nobody can do the work for me. When I say I'm going to do videos on certain days, I need to show up. And maybe it's not what I thought it was going to be, but I can at least do my best. So now I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to scale back on Fridays because I have other things that are going on, but I am going to show up on Tuesdays. And I'm going to do my best to keep showing up on Tuesdays. Is it going to be perfect? Never. Life is never going to be perfect, but we have to make decisions. So the first thing I want to ask, this is a very, this question is something I really, really want you to think about. Are you someone who just reads things, reads books, self-help books, all kinds of things? Maybe you listen to a ton of podcasts, you have a coach, you listen, you read their stuff, right? A lot of people buy my book and they're like, oh, I read it. And I'm like, great, are you going to use it? Are you someone who reads and listens only? Or do you utilize the information that you're reading and what you're listening to? And do you take action on that information to bring a transformation into your life? So I really want you to think about this. And again, this is not to create any kind of shame, guilt. We cannot go back in time. And I am not asking you to do that. What I'm asking you to do is create a reality check for yourself. I have to do this constantly, you guys. Create a reality check. What am I not doing? What am I doing? Where am I not showing up in my life? Where am I saying I'm going to show up, but then I don't? Am I telling other people, if I'm a leader, right? There's a lot of things where I'm leading. If I'm saying, hey, we're gonna do this, but then we never do that, I become a bystander. And honestly, what happens is my people no longer can trust me, right? If I tell my clients, these are the expectations, this is what you're going to get from me, and then I fall short of that constantly, maybe they give me a pass here and there. But if I continue to fall short on that, I cannot expect them to trust me anymore because now I'm showing that I cannot be counted on. So if I say, hey, on this date, we're going to come together and we're going to work on some things. Now, maybe you don't show up, but I do because I'm the one who said, hey, on this date, this is what I'm putting together. Whether you show up or not is not my that's not on me. But if I show up, I know I've done my part. So what type of person are you? Action takers. Let's talk about the action takers. What is the difference? Well, here are some things that I had to learn because I wanted to be a high performer, an action taker. I wanted to make sure I was always doing the things that I needed to do in order to keep progressing forward. I am constantly progressing forward. I am doing my best to do so, right? I'm always wanting to be a better version of myself each and every day. And if I'm not progressing forward, I'm falling backwards. And I've done that enough. So now I'm like, okay, what do I need to do different? Well, the first thing I need to do is I need to set intentions. All right. Action takers set clear, measurable goals. When I have things that I need to work on, I have to give myself due dates, guys. Now, maybe I don't make that day. Like I just had an occurrence where I'm like, oh, I was supposed to get it done yesterday, according to me. Okay. I put my own deadline on it, but I had to give myself some grace because something else came up in the place of that, which was more important. So prioritizing, right? So now I'm like, okay, now I am going to block out that hour tomorrow and I'm going to do my best to get it done. Now, that doesn't mean I keep putting it off, right? But I am going to prioritize God, family. My family's going to come first, right? If something comes up with my family, everything else gets put on the back burner. I would expect that from other people as well, right? Now, I will say we don't continue to put everything else on the back burner, right? Now we have to still show up. So we just have to time block and figure out when we're going to do that, okay? So we set clear, measurable goals. What am I going to get accomplished? How am I going to get accomplished? When am I going to get it accomplished? Right? And now, check, did I get it accomplished? Let's start checking some things off, right? Am I doing the things? Am I getting the tasks done? Here's a statistic for you. People who write down their goals are 42% more likely to achieve them. But it's not just about writing them down, because a goal without a plan is just a dream, right? It's having the strategy. It's literally listing out the tasks, you guys. We have so many tools nowadays that help us with that. It's listing out the task and then checking, right? That's how we get our goals done. Are we doing the work? Are we doing the things? Time blocking. This is huge. This is most of my coaching. It ends up being most of my coaching because a lot of people, including myself back in the day, struggle in this area. There's a reason I had to learn how to time block. Okay. And I was not good at it when I first started. But the more I practiced, just like everything else, the more I practiced, the better I got. So now I can time block. I use a planner. I have Brenda Bouchard's, he can pay me later, high performance planner. Okay. And if you can see this, see if it'll go. It's not showing, but it's the background. All right. Brenda Bouchard's high performance planner. I guess you can see it now. Yeah, there we go. All right. I don't have anything written. Usually I'll put something on the front and make it all nice and pretty. But basically, in here, there you go. You have a morning mindset. You have a nighttime, right? You have where you can put what you got done during the day. It's a reflection, right? Time blocking. I'm blocking out time. It's important, okay? I have a calendar that I use in my phone, a Google Calendar, but I still go in here and make sure I'm writing things down in the mornings to set my intentions, or the night before to set my intentions for the next day. Again, it's not always going to go perfectly to plan, but at least you're trying. At least you're doing the work. Okay. Successful individuals use time blocking to manage their day, prioritizing their most important tasks. We have to prioritize, otherwise we're going to get pulled in 50 million different directions, okay? They allocate specific times for learning. I have a lot of things I'm learning these days. For work, I'm doing a video. That's my work. Okay, I love what I do. Self-care, I went to the gym this morning. I tracked my foods this morning. I relaxed a little bit this morning. And family. Yesterday, I put the things that I was supposed to be working on, the work stuff to the side in order to prioritize my family. We have to ensure balance, but it's really harmony. I say harmony all the time. Kind of stop. I'm kind of going away from balance because we can't always balance everything. But can we find the ebb and flow? Can we find the harmony? That's what we have to shoot for. Time blocking can increase productivity by up to 80%, you guys. So for all of my overwhelmed moms, guess what? This is your answer, but you have to do it. You got to take action. All right. Action takers prioritize themselves. When I realized that me taking care of me was actually better for everyone else, I started making it more important. Because what happens is we get taught that it's selfish. You shouldn't, don't put everybody else on the back burner. But you can put you on the back burner every single time. No, that leads to depression, anxiety. Guess how I know? It's happened. Suicidal thoughts. I mean, all the things, you guys. It's just not worth it. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Action takers understand the importance of self care and they prioritize their mental, spiritual, and physical selves. Okay, it takes all three. You got to take care of yourself. Action takers know that by taking care of themselves, they can better serve others. You guys, it took me a long time. I was hearing that so much, but it wasn't until I started doing the things. And then I was like, oh my gosh, they're right. And again, it's not perfect. It's taken me years to finally be like, you know what? I have to take care of myself. But we do. We are better for everyone else around us if we're taking care of ourselves. And you can find time to do that, but you got to make it important. You got to make you important. Make you just as important as that doctor's appointment that you have written down. Okay. 72% of high achievers engage in daily self-care practices. I do. Daily. Okay. So what happens when we don't take action? When we don't take the lead, when we don't show up because of fear, because of fear of the unknown, or what if we fail, or we miss 100% of the shots that we don't take, you guys. 100% of them. Take a shot. But what happens if we don't? If we're just absorbing information, if you're just sitting here watching this video and you don't actually do anything, this is what's going to happen. You're going to struggle to see real change because you're not implementing what you're learning. That was me. I was listening, I was reading all the self-help books, but I wasn't taking action on the things. I've been there. I can relate. I'm not telling you these things to make you wrong or to make you feel bad about yourself. I'm telling you because I live it daily. It's daily, you guys. You got to make decisions. Your decisions matter. And they're going to either set you up for lifetime success or they're going to set you up for a lifetime of anxiety and depression. Which one do you want? If you're a parent, I guarantee you your kids would rather you have the first one. Because when we are anxious and depressed, guess what? We're taking that out. We're projecting that onto the people around us. Again, I know this firsthand because I was doing it. Okay. I'm still a work in progress, and you're going to be a work in progress as well. But you have to do the work. You have to implement what you're learning. Do not just watch this video. If you're not taking notes right now, if you're not doing the things, if you're not on Amazon looking for the planner or going to the store or doing those things, if you're not even trying, you might as well just turn the video off right now. Just turn it off. Share it with somebody that is going to do it. Okay. Knowledge without action leads to stagnation and missed opportunities. Again, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I would rather take a shot and be told no now. Now, there was a time that was different. Okay. I would rather now be told no than to not take the shot at all and not even give it a chance. Okay. Lack of time management. People who don't time block often feel overwhelmed and stressed, leading to procrastination, avoidance. It's survival mode, fight or flight. I can't do it all. So what am I going to do? I'm going to avoid. I've ended up on the couch before watching TV, not even, what is that going to do? That's just going to mean now everything that I'm not doing. Now I can take a break and watch some, TV or whatever. But if I'm just doing that all day in order to not do the things that I need to do, guess what's going to happen? That's just going to pile up. Now I'm sending myself into even more overwhelm. And again, I've done it. These are things that I've done. I promise you, I am not sitting here telling you, I am not preaching to the choir. I am not going to sit here and say, hey, this is what you need to do. And I'm not doing it. You better believe I'm doing it too. And there's reasons why I have to. It is a must now. It's not even a choice anymore. Now it's like, no, I have to. I have to. Because if I don't, I know the other side. I am tired of feeling like I want to check out of this world. I am tired of being like, oh, I should just go, I should just make it easier on everybody else. I am tired of feeling like that. And if you're not tired, you're not tired and fed up, this isn't going to help you. You got to get to that point. And I'm trying to catch people before they have to end up in the hospital or on their deathbed because of stress and anxiety that could have been caught. It could have been prevented. It's a choice, you guys. It is a choice. Stop being stagnant. Stop staying the same. You know what? I said this on a podcast the other day, and we hear it all the time, right? There's a poem that was written, we're born and we die. What matters is that dash in between. What did we do? What was the impact that we left? What was the legacy that we left behind? What was it? Nothing? I don't want to die like that. You guys, I can't stress that enough. Let's talk about neglecting self prioritization, neglecting yourself, keeping commitments to everyone else in the world, but letting yourself down every time. Nobody else has to let you down because you know what? You're letting yourself down. And then you wonder why other people are letting you down. It's because you don't even value yourself. And again, I'm not saying this to point a finger at you. I'm saying it to me. I always say, I'm coaching me. You just get the benefit. I am coaching me right now. I am pointing at me. I'm looking at me. This is for me too. And I hope it helps somebody else out there. This is what I live. This is my life. If I'm not showing up for me, how in the world can I expect everybody else to? If I'm not valuing me, they're not going to value me either. I gave them an easy out, right? When we don't prioritize ourselves, we feel burnt out. And if I'm sorry, but if you're not agreeing with me on this, then please let me know how you're doing it. because I haven't met anyone who hasn't experienced this when they're not taking care of themselves. We get burnt out, we feel undervalued, we're unable to sustain long-term success because we don't value ourselves. We're waiting for the thing to happen. We self-sabotage. Oh, this is too good. Something bad's going to happen. Again, this is me. I'm not saying this. I'm not saying this against anyone else out there. I'm telling you what I go through. I just know the more I share these things, other people are like, oh, me too. Right? We have to take a choice. We have to make a choice. 60% of people who don't prioritize self-care are unproductive, disengaged, and I'll tell you, a lot of them end up in the hospital with heart issues and they didn't even have heart problems. I don't want you to end up like that. I don't want you there. I don't want to be there. So what do? We take care of ourselves. We make ourselves priority. It's okay. I'm giving you permission today. I want you to choose action over being a bystander. Don't just, because what if you keep waiting and then it ends up being too late? You have right here, right now. Make it happen. Start small. Set one intention. Block out 30 minutes for yourself today or tomorrow if you can't do it today. Prioritize one self-care activity this week. Start. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect. But show up for you. 80% of success is attributed to taking the first step. So my question to you is, will you take yours? Will you take the first step? And what are you going to do to take the first step? And then once you do take that first step, I want you to comment and share what you did, how you did it, and how it's helped you. And then once you take that first step, I want you to take a second step and keep building on it. Remember, reading and listening can only take us so far, but taking action, that's where real transformation happens. So you have a choice. I have a choice. I can sit back and I can be like, oh yeah, I'm just going to watch the videos and scroll through whatever. Or I can be like, no, I want to be a part of something. There's a reason why I'm kind of straying away from social media and going more on a platform that is surrounding me with other people who think like me, where I want to be involved in something. I want to be seen, heard, and validated, and I want my people to be seen, heard, and validated. We don't always get that on social media. What do we do on social media? Scroll. Let me look at everybody else's lives. No, it's your turn. It's your turn to turn your life around. But you got to start. You got to start. Don't be a bystander. Take action. So, what are you going to do today? You let me know. What are you going to do? And I hope you start understanding that you are important too. Because you know what? Everybody that you're making more important than you right now, they need you. And you can't even be there for them because right now you're overwhelmed and burnout and your energy is depleted. And guess who's in control of that? Again, I'm talking to myself. I am in control of that. I have ultimate control over that. You have ultimate control over you. You have control over how you react to things. You have control over taking care of yourself. You have control over setting your intentions. You have control over time blocking. You have control over, and this is what I have this conversation with people all the time with nutrition. You have control of buying the cake and putting it in a refrigerator and eating it, or not buying the cake and not having it available when you're stressed out. You have the choice. It's time to stop acting like we don't have choices. We do. We do. So what are you going to do today?